You know, it's funny, Past Plates PVTV, little car information update. It's funny the cars that you see here in Mexico, you know, based on the socioeconomic levels, based on economic levels, you have a lot of, you know, lower end vehicles, more entry vehicles, you know, like they don't even make cars in the United States anymore, right? How was that in Canada? Let me know. Oh wait, they make American cars in Canada. Anyways, so I digress. But look at this little Chevy Aveo, right? This car is probably what, 3 years old, 2 years old. Doesn't look that old. But when we come to a stop, look, where's the stop? It only has a single stop, the brake light, just the middle one. It's funny because I'm driving my old borrowed car, my Honda CRV, and this thing has the original lights from more than 10 years ago. It's incredible when you think about it. You look at these little clown cars that they sell here, you got to be careful because, you know, you're in a car accident, these things are tin cans. They're trying to make them as cheap as possible to get people on the road, get money in their pocket. So I always recommend, I love, you know, the Japanese cars, the Toyotas, the Hondas, the Mazdas. Mazdas are actually very smooth, very, very smooth. So I like I said, you know, I'm pleasantly surprised with the Mazdas. I've always, you know, stuck with the Hondas, Toyotas. The Kias seem like a good bang for the buck. However, sometimes can have issues. You have to remember you're looking for something that has readily available parts as they get a little bit older, especially when you're buying used. You know, these new cars coming out, the MGs, you know, basically some Chinese company bought the name and they manufactured the cars in China. And, you know, on the Mexican Facebook groups, they're like, oh, hey, you know, I had something break on my MG and there's no replacement. And it happens too with the BMWs, the Mercedes, especially the BMWs, where, you know, they just can't get the part, you know, especially after the COVID, but it might be 6 months, you know, a year for the part to show up. So keep that in mind when you're buying a new or used vehicle. How readily available is it to go ahead and fix? For example, like motorcycles. You know, a lot of people that come to Mexico, they're shocked that you can go into, you know, the grocery store and buy a cheap little, what are they, Italica motorcycle. And these motorcycles, you know, they're super cheap. They're 30,000 pesos, 18,000 pesos, 25,000 pesos. I mean, very affordable. They have issues though. After clients buy, they go, yeah, it's been leaking. So right away you want to take it, get it serviced, you know, and do the regular services. Costco, my favorite place in the world. The only thing I don't like that Costco sells is their little motorcycle scooters, the Ventos. You know, there's only one authorized place here that does the repairs on those. And, you know, that's, you know, I had a client that had a really bad incident with them. You know, they took their motorcycle in and it didn't have a plate yet, it had a temporary tag, and the owner of the place says the cops came and just impounded it. But probably what's happening is they did the service, they're driving around, you know, and, you know, I'm conjecturing, you know, that this place, that the guy probably didn't have a helmet, mechanic probably didn't have a helmet because the car had a permit and not a plate. The guy didn't know where, you know, probably the registration card was, you know, and he probably didn't have a motorcycle license. The bike was impounded by the cops, and, you know, by the time the client figured out what was going on and trying to argue with the owner and all that stuff at the shop, it was a wash on the cost. He ended up just buying a new one. So, you know, it is worth it to go ahead and buy a Suzuki motorcycle. They have the older styles here, or the Hondas are a really good one as well. So more expensive, definitely more expensive. You gotta watch out because, you know, they get stolen. Well, they all get stolen. But yeah, just information, food for thought. Gas not before the hurricane. Everybody else. All right, take care. Thanks for watching Past Plates PVTV.